The number one myth I hear about burnout is that it's normal and there's no way out. This is simply not true. You can beat burnout fatigue and get your energy back. So some of the mistakes that I often hear that makes fatigue worse are things like you just have to keep pushing through. I just have to push through and I'll find the end. Or thinking you'll sleep when you're dead. I hear that a lot. That sleep, it really doesn't matter. There are also certain foods, such as sugar, carbohydrates, that provide a short dopamine fix and can lead to increased fatigue. And sometimes just not drinking enough water. All of these do lead to increased fatigue, especially when you're feeling burnt out, right? Water is so important. We are made up of water. We have a lot of that in our body, and we need it to sustain us. And it actually gives us energy. I one time didn't think that was really true. And so I tested it. When I was feeling a little extra tired one day, I drank an extra couple glasses of water pretty quickly and my energy increased. I was like, wow. So there is some science to why we need to drink more water. But what about foods? How does food help us fight that burnout exhaustion, right? The more we eat whole foods or nature's carbs, fruits and vegetables that were grown in the ground, right? These are the foods that our bodies thrive on that help us sustain. Whereas those man-made ones, those sugary carbs, those things that can last on the shelf in the grocery store, those things that give us that short dopamine hit, right? We go up and we come down. We go up and we come down. That's really hard to help us work through any kind of exhaustion, especially if we're talking about from burnout. But when we eat those whole foods, those natural foods, those nature's carbs, we don't get this up and down rush and from our sugar, right? Our blood sugar and dopamine hits. It doesn't go up and down, up and down. It actually kind of levels it out. And when we get that level, we can actually function better and we can recover from the burnout and the exhaustion by giving our physical body what it needs. But let's talk about some other ways to boost energy when you can't take a break, right? This is one of the common things that I hear a lot. I'm just so tired. I can't focus. I don't have time for breaks. Okay, I get that. A lot of our careers require a lot. A lot of times meetings get scheduled when we're supposed to have a break or supposed to be on lunch. And it can be difficult. I do want to encourage you that even finding 5 minutes to take a break, to get up and walk up and down the hall, even for 2 minutes, is a break, right? It is going to benefit your brain and it's going to make some shifts that it needs to make, meaning it's going to recover from whatever you were just working on because you got up and didn't immediately start focusing on something else. But what can we do to boost our energy when we can't take a break? You might try focusing on one task at a time. So clear everything off your desk and just have that one task you're working on. So it's the only thing your eyes see. A lot of times we get increased fatigue when we are constantly task switching, right? I start working on this project and then I remember, oh, I got to do that. So I jump and switch to that. Oh, wait, I better work on this too. So now I've got 3 things open on my computer. Well, my brain doesn't do well with that. Our brains are designed to focus on one thing at a time. So just clear that visual space. Make sure you have only one task open. This can help your energy levels and fight fatigue if you can't take breaks. You can also do exercises while sitting at your desk, right? You can swing your arms for a few minutes. If I sit here and do this while I'm working on a task, I can march my legs. I might march, especially if I'm in a meeting, back-to-back meetings, right? So you can build some of these in and just get creative. I have a standing desk. Sometimes that's helpful. So if I can't take a break, I can stand up. I can move my legs. I can march in place all while I'm still working. So just thinking about how can I adapt my workspace if I can't get those breaks. Again, if you're not getting those breaks, make sure you're still drinking enough water that can help kind of re-energize your body, but it's still getting some of that fluid and nourishment that it needs. And sometimes we can just pause for a few seconds and take a few deep breaths. When we do that, we allow our entire system, not just our brain, but our physical body, to just breathe, to just pause and rest, right? It only takes 10 seconds, 30 seconds to take a couple of slow, deep breaths, but sometimes that can help too. It can help just kind of release whatever maybe you're sitting here holding on to while you're working. And the last thing that can help with that fatigue, that chronic fatigue from burnout, is really focus on your sleep patterns. I know a lot of people say, Deidre, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I'm going to come back and say, that might be, but you'll function better if you get better rest now, right? We will be more productive. We will be able to push harder during the day if we're allowing our body and our mind to recover when we sleep at night. Both of those recover, right? So if you think about when you sleep and you hit REM sleep, some people dream, but in REM sleep, your brain is processing everything it went through that you experienced for the day. It sorts it, it understands it, it files it away, and it lets it go. So when you start the next day, you're not as focused on yesterday because you got that sleep, you got into that REM sleep. So sleep allows you to recover. I always encourage people, we all have a different amount of sleep that we need, right? Some of us do well on 5, some of us do well on 10. That's a big area to cover. It's a big difference. We don't need the same amount as the person next to us, but we need to figure out what works for us. And as you're working on that, I would encourage you to think about, how can I improve the quality of the sleep I'm getting, right? So if you don't feel like you can add more hours right now, that's fine. Let's talk about the quality. So to improve the quality of the sleep we get, we want to look at what we do that 15 minutes to an hour before we want to go to bed. And I encourage people to start with 15 minutes. An hour might feel like too much. Again, right? Where is the time? I can't find the time. But start with a 15-minute routine. Include things that help both your mind and your body start to slow down. When I do the same thing every night, what happens is my body and my mind connect. Oh, we're doing these activities that it's time to shut down to rest and recover. And I've had a lot of clients report back when they finally implemented this and they said, Deidre, wow, I got some sleep. Yes, because you're training your mind and your body, right? We're creatures of habit. So 15 minutes, it's 1 or 2 activities. It doesn't have to be anything strenuous, but work on improving your sleep. Your sleep will help you manage throughout the day. It'll give you more energy, but you're also going to manage whatever comes up. And lastly, when you improve the quality of your sleep or you work on that bedtime routine, make sure you're going to bed in a positive and calm mindset. When we are in more of a positive mental space, when we fall asleep, we will sleep better, more restful. It will not be as strenuous.